I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully perform the duties of Banshee County Sheriff, the office of which I now enter, and that I have no knowledge of any circumstance, past or present, that would disqualify me from the assignment of this office. So help me God.
For each your own, for every man a religion.
The new sheriff.
That's right.
Kai Proctor.
Alright, Banshee. Now this is a show that came out in 2013, and even though it's over a decade old, I haven't heard many people talking about it, at least not in the circles that I'm in, other than Nerdrotic. I've heard him mention it a few times throughout the years. Shout out Nerdrotic. It's about a guy named Lucas Hood, played by Anthony Starr, better known as Homelander.
Listen, Annika. I'm the Homelander. And I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Now, I didn't know much about The Boys or anything, but when he was cast, I was super stoked about it because I wanted to see him get work because I enjoyed him so much in this. So anyway, he plays a guy named Lucas Hood, and years ago there was a heist crew, and it went south with some diamonds. They all scattered. He did time. He did 15 years, and he gets out, and then he goes to Banshee, Pennsylvania, to track down his wife or his ex-girlfriend or whatever. But she's living a whole new life now in this little small town. But he arrives at a bar, and the bartender, played by Frankie Faison, which you might know from The Wire.
Come to see a dead man walk.
And while he's in this bar, some shit goes down, and there's some casualties, which is not much of a spoiler. Happens soon, and they allude to it. It's the entire premise of the show, so they allude to it in the trailer. He takes on the identity of one of these casualties, which is Lucas Hood, who's there to become the new sheriff of the town. So he takes on this persona as Lucas Hood, and he's there to, again, get his wife or his girlfriend. I can't remember if they were married. It was like a taboo thing because she's the daughter of the mafia boss in New York, and they're not supposed to be together, so I don't know if they are officially married or not. Anyway, so he's there, played by Ivana Milicevic, I think her name is. I only know her from, like, Seinfeld is what I recognized her from. I think she did something in Power too, but Seinfeld is mostly the little stint in that.
What should we do? Care for a cup of coffee?
Why don't we just go up to your apartment?
All right.
But yeah, anyway, she was in Seinfeld. So anyway, he's taken on the persona as Lucas Hood as the sheriff of this town, and he crosses paths with the mob boss who's Amish. It's like it's not an Amish mafia. I think that little thing started when this show kind of picked up steam back in the day. I don't know. It's not Amish mafia, but he was exiled from the Amish community because he's not a good guy, and they're real strict on the rules. But anyway, he's the head of the mafia there. That's played by Ulrich Thompson, I believe his name is. And I didn't know at the time, but after rewatching Hitman with Timothy Olyphant, he was the Russian president and the one with the doubles. Anyway, that's when stuff starts to really get rolling because he's not really the sheriff. He's just there for his ex-wife or his ex-girlfriend, and then it gets intertwined with being a sheriff.
Every time I think I know the way forward, something kicks me back.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get what I want.
Most people are happy with one psychopath after them. You really want two?
I'll take my chances. Sometimes the only way to get justice is with your own two hands.
But I'm not going to keep going on everything that happens. Everything's alluded to in the trailer. You pretty much understand what this show is all about. I just want to go over some of the foundation of it. But overall, this is a solid show. I would say it's B tier. A tier is something I would consider like The Wire, The Sopranos, Dexter back in the day, or for me at one point, Game of Thrones. But, that's a video for another day of A tier shows. This is something I just want to talk about because it's solid entertainment. Now, you do have to suspend disbelief quite a bit. It is over the top. Which is fine, it works, but, over the top, I mean, like somebody gets a tomahawk in the shoulder, and he's still, fighting, it's like, whatever, but because the whole show is just, it's just you shut your brain off, and which is good. I know that sounds stupid, shut your brain off and be a zombie. That's not what I mean. It's just everything's consistent, so you just accept it. And the thing about is, because all you're really worried about is what's going to happen next. They do a good job of subplots that sometimes intertwine with the main plot, or they're off their own little thing while the main thing is going on in the background, which is fine, because you're always engaged. They're always keeping you engaged. That's one thing that, and a lot of sex too. If you know, if you're not into that, whatever, you can fast forward. Whatever, but it is what it is. You know, this was, like I said, 2013 is when it started, so there's gonna be a little bit more than that. And speaking of it being over a decade old now, if you're into inclusion and all that, this has all that. You know, you got some checked boxes, as you will. And if you're not into that, if that type of stuff, the check boxes, if that annoys you, this show does it really well, because it wasn't the focus. It's just like, oh, you know, that person's a trans, but it doesn't. He's just wearing a wig, and it has nothing to do with anything. It's just that's who that guy is, but whatever. And that the person I'm talking about is Job, who's part of his crew. It's an Asian dude named Hoon Lee, I believe. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But who's awesome. His little one-liners and everything. He's probably one of the best parts of the show.
Get in the fucking car.
Kinda don't want to.
Bitch, I should be shooting your dumb white ass right now, but instead I'm offering you a ride. So show some fucking gratitude and get in the fucking car, or I will run you into a wall and say my foot slipped off the clutch.
And there's nothing else I can really think that he's been in. I have seen him here and there in some things. Nothing of note that can be referenced, such as Anthony Starr's Homelander, and obviously he's in this. And then there's Matt Servito, I think his name is. He plays Deputy Lotus in this, but he was Agent Harris in The Sopranos.
So how's the war on terror?
Christmas is always potentially our busy season. So, Phil Leotardo, huh? Coronary?
I swear to God, I had nothing to do with that.
So nothing for Hoon Lee that I can mention off the top of my head, but he's awesome in this. He's great. So yeah, this show, I'm real weird about recommending shows to people, because you know everybody's different and everything. So I'll just say that I enjoyed this show a lot. Solid entertainment. Suspend disbelief. It's fine. The tomahawk in the shoulder, like I said, it's just an example, and the guy's still fighting. So it's kind of stupid, but it works. It totally works. And tomahawk, it's because there's natives, so you got a lot of dynamics going on. Like I said, subplots that intertwine with main plot. It's something's always happening, and it's pretty good. Now, season 4, make a quick note, I think was the last season, and I think the show was canceled, I believe. So season 4, they just had to wrap up. So it's a little off from season 1 through 3. Season 3 is pretty hardcore. It's pretty heavy for not with the sex scenes, but well, that too, I guess, maybe. But just action. It's a pretty dark show, so there are some twist things in this. So you know, if you're not if you don't think you can handle some dark stuff, I don't really want to get into too much detail, because then that way when you see it, if you watch it, you'll be like, oh, you know, and you can kind of experience the first time. So, but if you can handle all that and suspend your disbelief, and you like stuff that's constantly happening, and you just want a show to shut your brain off for a little bit and enjoy, I would definitely say give this a shot. And if you do, or if you've seen it, let me know what you think, and maybe we can have a discussion. Spoilers, who knows? A little chit chat. Thanks for stopping by.
I made a huge mess. I have to go.
Who the hell are you?
It's just me.
There is no
Everything you touch turns to blood.